Hello everyone and welcome to yet another recreational programming session with Mr. Azuzin. So, lately I noticed that my views are down, and you know what that means? That means we need to start doing another slop stream. So on today's Slopic, we're going to be looking at the latest Raylib release. So this Raylib release been in making for a year actually, right? So Raysan doesn't really release Raylib very often because he's a busy man, right? So he's doing a lot of things and Raylib is just his side project. Because of that, I really recommend to actually support it, right? So there's some links on the website. I'm going to put the website to Raylib in the description. Right, so, and it's finally the time for the annual Raylib release, right? So let's take a look at it. We're gonna download the latest release. We're gonna unbox it and look at it. So what's funny is that this time, yet again, there's probably one of my contributions in the Raylib, right? So at some point, I think I submitted a fix for audio to Raylib that fixes flag support, and it got merged by Raysan himself. So maybe it is in that release. So let's go ahead and maybe download this thing. So maybe I'm gonna go to somewhere, maybe prop Raylib. Right, so let's go ahead. Maybe I'm gonna just, you know, click it. So AMD64. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. So it is 1.7 megabytes, right? So is it bigger than the previous release? How much bigger it is than the previous release? Let's actually fucking download the previous release because I'm really curious. Right. So let's go into the releases. The previous one was, I think the previous one was actually 5.0. Right, so they skipped like 4 releases somehow, right? So straight into 5.5. Okay, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting use of Semver, right? So I don't really know how to interpret that, but that's how the versions are. It's actually pretty much the same size. 1.76, and it's also around that 1.7. It's actually, if anything, it's smaller, I think. I think it is smaller. Okay, let's open it up. So it's actually, you know what? So this is just the binaries, right? I'm not really interested in binaries. I should have downloaded the source code. Right, so let's actually go ahead and literally download the source code. I think it's way more valuable to look at the source code, and source code is actually a little bit chunkier, right? It's 40 megabytes. It's fine. Right, so let me go into the Raylib, and I'm going to actually move this entire thing in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and unzip it. All right, that was fast. The unzipping experience is actually quite pleasant. So it's all in a single folder, right? So it doesn't spill out of the folder if you unzip it. So, you know, unzipping experience 5 out of 5. Anyways, I'm sorry. So, yeah, so... Why there's now 2 build.zigs in here? These zigooners been running around submitting build.zigs everywhere. Now a single build.zig is not enough for them. They need a fucking second one. Dude, zigooners just can't fucking stop. They have no chill. They need to multiply more and more and more files. What the fuck is this file? So is that like an analog of like a log files, right? So is that what it is? It's probably an analog of log files. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, we can take a look at the actually change log, right? So as far as I know, Raysan doesn't really acknowledge everyone in the release nodes in here. He only acknowledged the people who are new contributors, right? So as you can see, it's a new contributors. But the full acknowledgement, as far as I know, is in change logs. Right, so, and there is no Rexim in here. Oh, okay. Well, that's the previous one, isn't it? Yeah, so it's a previous release and it contains all of the releases. So it was about the flag. Right. Ah, all right. So he put me under my actual. He leaked my name. Why did he leak my? I'm joking. Like my name is not a secret. Right. So we can take a look at the pull request that I actually submitted in there. It's actually kind of cool pull request. So let's actually go there. and boom. So this is the pull request that I submitted. So there was no support for 24 bits samples. Right. So, and what's interesting is that to have this support, you have to enable flag format, and it was actually super easy fix, right? So you just basically do the conversion from like 24 to 16, and it will automatically work. So doxed by Ray. Yeah. So it got submitted, and yeah. So like one of my changes, my code is now in Raylib. Yes. If you are using Raylib, you are running my code. Do you feel comfortable about that? Do you feel comfortable about me running my code on your machine? Do you trust me? Anyway, so let's actually go ahead and take a look at what else did we get. Right, anything particularly special? So there are some key changes. New tool, Raylib project create. Okay. So maybe we're gonna take a look at that, Raylib project creator. But I mean, it's like maybe it is needed for somebody, but I kind of like to actually know each individual part of the project, right? So that I have, and because of that, I usually create each individual part of the project myself. Right, so I don't really like too much magic, but I mean, maybe it is helpful for somebody, for people who only start using Raylib or maybe only start programming and stuff like that. So we also have new R core backends, right? So is SDL3 already out? The last time I checked, chat, the SDL3 was actually not out yet, and it was like a pre-release. Did they fucking finally release SDL3? Should I do another stream on SDL3? Tool-assisted Raylib. Oh, holy fuck! Tool-assisted Raylib speedrun. So wait. Is SDL3 really out? Raylib support N64 and PS4. Yeah. So I remember actually Ray-san talking about it on Twitter, Fita, and yeah. So people were working on these kind of things. So this is the SDL3 wiki. SDL2 is over here. How do I know if SDL3 is already out? Does anybody know? Is there any official website of SDL? Right, so library, where I can just go there and it tells me, bro, SDL3 is out. SDL3 is out. Oh, okay, so get the SDL3 preview. Okay, so as you can see, SDL2 is the stable and SDL3 is a preview. Okay. So it's not really out yet, but Raylib already supports that as a backend. And another backend is RGFW, which is kind of an interesting library. So we talked about it on Discord a little bit. And it's basically a GLFW, but as a single header library. I never heard about this thing before. And it looks... I actually heard about it. Man, I check too many things. Like, I work on way too many things that sometimes, like, I just don't have a mental dementia. It's not dementia, I just work on too many things. Right, so it's not like I just like committed to one single stack. I constantly switch the stacks, I constantly switch the project, and so on and so forth. And because of that, I have this reflex that if I need to do something, I just learn specific thing to do something, I do the thing, and I instantly forget about all of that completely. Right, so the next time I need to work with that thing again, I have to literally relearn it because I don't have a mental space to keep all of that. So I probably saw this thing. Maybe I literally saw it today, but maybe we're gonna take a look at that. Right, so it will be interesting to just take a look at our RGFW and see how it like performs and everything. New platforms, Dreamcast, N64, PSP, PS Vita, PS4. I have neither of those, and I never even owned any of this in my entire life. Seriously. Well, Ray-san, why did you have to hit me with this one? Anyway, so edit GPU skinning. So what the fuck is skinning? Does anybody know what the fuck? I never heard this term before, but I'm not a graphics programmer. Animations, the GPU skinning, the GPU skinning. So, okay, so there's a Unity discussion. Memory optimization. Nobody explains it, so I suppose it's like a game dev thing that everyone intrinsically understands. What is skinning? Okay, so let's actually Google it up. Game dev skinning. Okay. What's the definition? Okay, rigging, I kind of understand what is rigging, right? It's when you have a 3D model and you put a rig on it so you can control different parts of the body and stuff like that. Right, but what is skinning? In the sense of like Fortnite skins for GPU, that's what it is. Right, so I get back to that. So it would be kind of nice to just have at least the definition. Since they're only about drawing, it does not care about how the node hierarchy is animated. The process is connecting them. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is interesting. So maybe they do have a definition. Skinning, aka a skill in some RPGs. Okay. This is a way to draw a mesh connected to a node hierarchy. Artists. Oh, I see. Isn't it like an opposite of rigging? So if rig is a skeleton, the mesh around the nodes of the rig are skin. So basically, if you have a rig and you don't have a model, putting a model on that rig is skinning. But if you have a model but you don't have rig, putting a rig onto that model is rigging. Did I understand it correctly? Is that what it is? Well, we can even draw that a little bit because, like, I'm not a game dev. I may not know certain terms and like stuff like that, so I have no idea. Right. So because how I understand this Scheiße meine Freunde. Right. So you may have basically a rig, right? So which is just like some sort of a node, right? So another node and another node and another node and another node, right? So this is the rig and everything, right? And then you put meshes around them, and as you move this specific node, it also moves the entire mesh, right? So skinning is probably putting a mesh on the rig. So skinning is basically computing how mesh would look given position of bones. That's a good definition. Thank you so much. Thank you. So my brother's game dev, if I recall, skinning is attaching the mesh to the node. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense now. Thank you. And I just never heard that term before. So as you can see, reading change nodes is educational, right? So it is very educational. Like you encounter an like unfamiliar term, just try to learn it. Just find a definition. I learned things, right? So now next time I'll hear the word skinning said by a professional game developer, I will understand what the fuck they're talking about. All right. So edit Raymat C++ operator. Ew. Brother, ew. C++ in my really... This is the worst release ever. Anyways, so, okay, so this is so far the key changes. Right, so we're not going to look into the details into every single change, but we may take a look at like key ones, right? So maybe we're going to try the tool creation, different backends. I'm not sure if we'll be able to actually check the Dreamcast N64 PSP and blah, blah, blah support, but maybe there's some emulators, but I'm pretty sure setting up the simulator is going to be a nightmare. So GPU skinning and skinning in general, I'm not sure if it's going to be that interesting to look into, but we may. Raymat C++ operators, this is something that we can look into right away. Right, so just go ahead and simply find a file raymat.h. Right, so here is this mother flipper. Let's go there and let's find the word operator. Right. Here it is. Thanks God. Like for a second, it... I got scared because I couldn't find the fucking ifdef. Alright, so there is an ifdef, so if it's only enabled if you have C++, right? So, okay, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. So here are the operators. They're also inlined in everything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder how difficult it is to build this entire thing, right? So let's just go ahead and try to make it. Since I have a pretty beefy pretty beefy laptop, right? So I have, how many? I think I have 16 cores, right? I have 16 cores. I can try to build Ray Leap with 16 cores. Let's fucking go. So yeah, we're building. Has a bunch of warnings. Why is it throwing warnings at me? And it's already built. Look at that. This motherfucker is already built. Straight up. So you can already use it. 16 cores, yeah, exactly. Why is it throwing warnings at me though? I do not quite understand. So, argument exceeds maximum object size? Holy shit. So you were trying, so this thing was trying to allocate shit ton of memory for whatever fucking reason. What the fuck? Wait. So, RC model, size of T, support mesh. Okay, so you allocate in par mesh type. So in here, so it ends up just, yeah, so the size is too goddamn fucking huge. So that means it knows this entire thing at compile time. So what is that? So you int, I honestly don't know what the fuck is that. I honestly don't know what the fuck is that. So, yeah, we're also redefining GNU source and everything. So anyway, let's do a Ray Leap, you know, speedrun. Right, so let's create main.c and just see if this entire thing even works. Right, so is the new release even working? Is it even working? So probably want to do something like rayleap.h. And I'm gonna just assume that, you know, the usual thing, right, so just still works, right? So init window, so let's say, hello, Ray Leap find 5.5, 860. I think the size comes first. I already forgot how to use Ray Leap, I'm sorry. Begin? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's also return 0. And if I try to build the whole thing, obviously it can't find anything, but I think the header is located in src. There we go. And the next thing we want to do, we want to actually link with rayleap.a, and it should be located within src as well. And obviously we also need math, so I'm going to link with math as well. And it is working, and if I try to run it, we saw a window blink for a little bit. So let's actually set the target FPS to 60, right? And while window should close, while it shouldn't close, we're gonna do begin drawing, right? So such a clear background with maybe red, and let's end the drawing. Oh, why can't you just do that? Okay, so end drawing, and at the end, let's close the window. Right, so let's actually try to run it, and it still works. So the usual hello world of Ray Leap still works in there. I'm super happy. So let's try to maybe build this entire thing with C++, right? So let's actually check the you know, the C++ operators, because these are the key features, right? So it encourages people to actually use C++ instead of C, which I do not particularly appreciate, but I mean, it is what it is. So we need to have array math. So let's maybe actually clear background with, I don't know, something like 8080 FF, right? So here we're going to be using G++, right? There we go. So yeah, I suppose to actually use CPP. Still working. So C++ capable of compiling this entire thing. So that's pretty cool. So let's actually maybe define some sort of a position, right? So we're going to have vector2, and position is going to be maybe somewhere at 0, right? And at that exact position, we're going to draw maybe circle. Let's actually draw a circle, not really 3D, but I want to draw a circle V. I think that's what it is. Rayleap.h. Draw circle V. Right, draw circle V. So this is going to be the center, so this is a P. The radius, let's actually put 69 in there, and the color is going to be red. So the circle should appear, according to my calculation, in the left top corner, and there we go, here is the circle. So one of the things we can do now, maybe we can introduce some sort of a velocity. Oh, I forgot to put equals in here, but it doesn't matter because this is C++. You can actually do, yeah, maybe you can even do something like this. I don't freaking know, but anyway, so this is the velocity, and let's actually say that the velocity is going to be 100, 100. Right, the thing I want to do now, chat, I want to get frame time, right? So this is going to be dt get frame time. So, and what that means? That means I can just easily do p plus equals v multiplied by dt and make this circle move. Can your C do that? Can your C do that? I don't fucking think so. C, go suck a dick, suck. So yeah, that's the new key feature. This is what we've been waiting for the entire year. So if you use C++ now, you can use operators, right? So, but this code, it actually makes backward incompatible code, right? So, but that's kind of the point of C++. C++ is not trying to be too much backward compatible, right? So if you try to compile it as C now, you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, so there's no such thing, first of all. So let's actually go back. So boom. As you can see, you just can't do this kind of shit. So the way you have to do that is vector. So let's actually comment it out. Right, so I don't want to lose it. So the way you have to do that in C, in pure C, is vector to add. Actually, first you have to scale, right? So you take V and you scale it by dt. So then later you can do vector to add P like this. And only then this entire thing is going to compile in C. Right. So this is C, this is C++. The choice is obvious. Obviously, everyone wants to program in C++. It's not like on top of just fixing that small annoying problem, it comes with shit ton of other slop complaints. No, don't think about that. Don't think about the rest of the slop. No. It fixes your little problem that you occasionally have in C. So that's why you have to use C++. That's why you have to. And literally, Rust community also likes to use these kind of arguments. Like, yeah, so you have a little bit of a problem in C. Well, Rust fixes that. Don't look at the rest of the slop it introduces that you have to problem. No, don't look at that. Like, it fixes that specific problem. That's why you have to rewrite everything in Rust. That's literally the level of stupid propaganda that is usually used in the modern tech to promote languages. It's bizarre to me. It's just like, it's almost like designed for brainless people. Like why? Why does it even fucking work? Like, where are all actual adult engineers, right, who understand how shit works, right? It's like, why this kind of propaganda actually fucking work? Design, exactly, it's like it's a propaganda that is designed for babies. Like, what the fuck? And it fucking works. The most bizarre thing is just like, it works. That's why software sucks, by the way. So anyway, yeah, so this particular key feature works. So let's actually take a look at the rest of them. Adult engineers are working on Rust. Understandable. That makes sense, actually. That actually makes sense. libcello binding for raylib is tomorrow. I mean, if you're using libcello, you can just use, like, you're literally using C, don't you? So now find where the overload of star was defined. It's very easy. You just open Ray Math, right? So you just open the Ray Math and like I was literally looking at it. Look. Yeah, easy, very fucking easy. I found it. So yes. That's a lot of operators, different kind of operators. Yep. Okay, so let's go back to changelog. So we are done with that. So let's take a look at this like fancy new Raylib project generator. So what the fuck is that? Where can I fucking find this shit? I don't see it. So, okay, I'm gonna make an assumption. So let me first of all save this entire thing, and I'm gonna just try to find the file. Case and sensitive npm install Raylib. Are you freaking? Wait a second. Well, I mean, it's probably bindings. If it exists on, oh, it's just bindings. Okay, so it's fine. Anyways, so let's actually find generator, or maybe genia. Right. So anything that kind of starts with genia, any file that contains just gen, because I'm pretty sure if there is any source code of the generator, it is like it has gen in its name somehow, and it's maybe case is different, and that's why I'm looking for case insensitive. All right, so what do we have in here? Texture generating. There's nothing. There's nothing in there. So we can RG again. That's too much. So generate. So is there any projects? Raylib to parse. So some people said that maybe there's something in the makefile. Right, so let's open. Where's the makefile? Oh, it's in SRC. Makefile create. So there's no such thing. So, oh, it's a separate project. I see. So it's a separate project. Let's take a look at it. Okay, thank you. Right. The project creator. A simple and easy to use Raylib project creator written in C. Okay, so let me actually put this thing in the description for anyone who's watching right now. So this is part of the release apparently, and it's in a separate repo. Was it part of the bundle that we downloaded? Right, because we downloaded this thing. It doesn't even include it. Right. So they say that it's a part of the Raylib, but it's not part of the thing that we download from GitHub. Where do we get that? Right? What's the official way of getting that thing? I'm really curious. Written in Raylib, RaiGui. Oh, that's actually fucking cool. Okay, so if I want to download some stuff, right, so there is official bundle for... it probably comes with this, like, itch.io thing. $10. I'm really sorry, Ray-san, but I don't have any money. Just take me to. I'm sorry, Ray-san, but I encourage you to actually donate something. Right. So, and there's only Windows. Is it only part of the Windows? Is it only part of the Windows? I suppose it is only part of the Windows. And it's actually, holy shit! Do you see that? That's a chunky Raylib. 647. That's only the installer. All right, so I think I'm in the wrong part of Raylib. I should not be going there. So let's actually try to download this project generator and maybe build it ourselves. You can try it online. Oh, okay. So there is an online version of this thing. Project creator. Sure, let's start. Okay, so I'm gonna just save this thing to the description, and we're gonna try it a little bit later. But first, I want to try to build it myself, right? So because I want to run it natively. How difficult it is to run this thing? Right. So let's actually go to prob Raylib, and I'm going to just simply git clone. So is there too many commits in there? Only 36 commits. Okay, so we're not gonna do a shallow clone. Right, because we're not shallow people. We're doing deep throat clone. So Arch Linux ISO was 60 megabytes a couple of years ago. Huh, interesting. So it probably contains like a base system and also additional packages and stuff like that. Okay, is there any way to build it? So as far as I know, Ray-san puts makefiles into SRC. Okay, so I'm gonna just go and make it. And it doesn't build because there's no Raylib. Which is rather interesting. So you have to have Raylib installed somewhere. So do you Raylib include path? Okay, so Raylib SRC path. So is it defined? I mean, well, I mean, okay, it's under question mark anyway, so who cares? So on Linux it's not going to be defined. Look, it's fine, it's totally fine. It just makes me chuckle a little bit when I see it. Guess where Ray-san stores its project? Yeah, leaked. The project location leaked. Ray-san, we know all of your secrets. right? We know that at the folder C, you have a folder GitHub where you store all of your very good organization of your project. I kind of do a similar thing, right? So the way I usually do that, like I have home and I have programming. So maybe calling it GitHub would have been better, right? Because programming is too long, but after many, many years of typing this word, I kind of like don't feel like it's too long for me. So, so under C, there's also ArrayLib folder. C compiler path, Ooh. Okay. So anyway, the way we can actually try to build this thing is by literally define this, right? So, because question mark means, what question mark means? It means that if this thing is not defined, set it to that. So I'm a little bit afraid that it may not even compile on Linux. Maybe it's a like Windows only thing. Right, so it could be actually Windows only thing, so we might actually fail doing that. So I'm gonna say home, right, programming, probe, ArrayLib. Can I just use this thing? Doesn't autocomplete. Can I do that? Okay, so ArrayLib, 5.5 and src. Then I do something like this. Boom. Just work. Simplicity is the key. Look, I didn't even fucking need any documentation because the whole thing is just too goddamn simple. There's like nothing to even learn in here or nothing to even fucking explore. There's one single make file. It's self-explanatory. I just like hacked it together like and just use it. Where build Ziguniers haven't discovered this project. Don't tell Ziguniers about this don't fucking tell them, otherwise they're gonna come with their build.zig files. Oh, they don't know. They don't know. Oh. PR at build.zig. I'm surprised it compiled. That's actually super cool. So what did it create? Okay. Wait, where is the executable? Wait, so find executable. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, specifically file, please. Is there any... Oh, okay, so it's an src. Yeah. So it was kind of difficult to see that it is executable. Maybe I should actually hack something in Emacs so it highlights executable files, because like I couldn't see it right away. All right, let's actually try to run it. And it's a GUI application. Imagine developing native GUI applications instead of web applications in 2024. How unhinged you have to be. Anyways, sure, let's start. Let's font for ants. Font for can I zoom in? Okay, like dude. There should be some way to... I wonder if there is a scale in there. Scale. Oh. Okay. Rebuilding. Running it again. Can I can't even recite, dude. Like, if you enable this thing, can you at least double the size of the window? Platform, and you actually, dude, why are you hard coding? I think what this has to be, right? So set window size. Where do we set the window size? So it's only hard-coded for the web. So what I'm thinking actually, right, so screen size double, you just do that, but the get screen width is less than double sets. Can you just double it? Oh, there's also F10. So if I press F10, I had to press F. Ah, I think I see. I think I just use it incorrectly. Chat. I just use it incorrectly. I think I know what the fuck is going on, chat. So you're not supposed to modify the source code. You're supposed to press F10 and it will just blow into your face. Right. At least this is how I understand it. Right. So let's actually rebuild this entire thing and see if it's going to fix it. Yeah. So you just press F10 and it just blows into your face, and that's how you zoom in. Right. So let's start. So finally I can read this shit. And you can also read it. The custom files, so there is a basic sample. Okay, so project name, cool project. Product name, cool project. So description, my cool new project. I didn't fucking even know the project name. Your mom. Product name. Your mom's project. Okay, dude, I have a reflex. That every time I click on the, edit field, I press Control A to select everything, and I just can't. It doesn't select everything, though that's a bit bizarre. Yeah, so there is no selection in RaiGui. Selection is not supported, dude. I'm disappointed. It also doesn't jump by word when I hold Control left and right. Bro. But I mean, maybe the RaiGui is not finished, right? So, like, actually I'm one of these people who uses, shortcuts, like conventional shortcuts in editing fields and stuff like that a lot. Like, I hold Control left and right to jump by word, I press Control A to select everything and stuff like that. This is actually super important for me. And not supporting any of that, it doesn't even support home end. Like, I'm pressing home end to jump to the beginning and to the... Well, I mean, it's not really a problem of the project generator. It's not the problem of the project generator. It's more of a problem of the RaiGui. Maybe in the future RaiGui is gonna fix that, but as of for now, to be fair, it just feels that maybe it doesn't have higher priority, right? So what is higher priority is this thing working at all? Is the GUI elements actually work roughly as intended, right? So and all of the rest of the stuff is just like niceties, right? So. So build settings, it suggests to put SRC path into here. In all honesty, we defined raylib SRC path. I think what the build system should do, it should pass the raylib SRC path to the source code via a macro, and if that macro is defined, it should set the default path to that we did during the build. Right, I think this is what it should do, in my personal opinion. I think this is what it should do. We can even try to do that, right? So we can literally try to find this entire thing. So if I try to run it again, right, so let's start. So what does it say? So raylib SRC path. Okay, so let's go there. Raylib SRC path. Okay. So here is the GUI label, and it's just a GUI label, and here's the GUI text box. So in the text box, this is the rectangle, right? This is the rectangle, and this is the, path, right? So raylib SRC path, what is it set to? It is literally hard-coded. Okay, so what I'm thinking, so is it set anywhere else? I think that's the only place where it's actually set in a bunch of places. Initial project config default. Is a file extension. Right. So what I'm thinking is that what we have to do is maybe just use this thing like that. Right. Like that. And the question is, do you even have it defined anywhere? So if I try to So that was weird. Just a second. If I try to build this entire thing, I think it's not going to work, right? Because Raylib src path is not actually available in there at all. So you need to have hack the file system. So how do we build this entire thing? So we'll use cc, big cc, and here is how we build this stuff. So what we can do is essentially put d in here and just say that Raylib src is equal to whatever Raylib src we have in there, right? Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. So just basically pass that information into the source code. And it will use literally the same thing as you did during the build, right? So for example, if I'm building on Linux and I set a completely different place, it should probably set that place, and that didn't work anyway, right? So I know why. Probably because I didn't pass it as a string. Right, so that's another sort of problem that we have in here. I didn't pass it as a string. So probably have to maybe say something like this. I wonder if it's going to actually work if I just do it like that. Okay, it's building, and yeah, it worked. Look at that. So I think that's a pretty cool change, right? So if I don't have this custom environment variable, it will use the default with that C, GitHub, Raylib, blah, blah, blah. So it will use it as usual. But if I rebuild it myself for my personal project, actually, it makes sense to replace it like that. It just makes sense. And probably it makes sense to do that for all of the paths in there, because this is not the only path where they did that, right? So there is quite a few paths in there. So Raylib src path, like for example, compiler path. And as far as I know, compiler path, I can also customize my compiler path. It would make sense to pass this information in there. Maybe Raysan actually has that on his mind. And maybe eventually this is exactly what he's gonna do. But it's just like my personal suggestion after working with that. So update makefile to bytecode build.c. Imagine somebody actually starting some sort of a meme where they go around non-Zig projects where there is a build.zig and make PRs to remove build.c. Anyways, I'm joking. Doing something like that is kind of stupid, honestly, but that would be funny. So anyways, we must stop it. Nah, there's no reason. Honestly, doing that is as annoying as running around and submitting build.zigs. Right, so it's just like, you don't really solve any actual problems, you just create annoyance for people, right? So I don't think it's a good idea to do it like that. I'm just joking around. Anyways, so yeah, just a second. So something. Let me acknowledge le subs. Thank you everyone who subscribed. And Nicolas Danelon, thank you so much for Tevan with the message. Chore, remove build.zig, adding build.source. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. All right. So, but we haven't tried this entire thing like at all. So let's actually see if it even works. So let's do something like this. So let's actually leave it as it is. And source files. I suppose, okay, it's a browse. Aha. Ooh, this one is interesting. This is a classic on Linux. Right, so on Windows, there is this very interesting thing that you just have, the file selection dialog in WinAPI. So a Windows application, if it wants to show a file selection dialog, it just calls to a WinAPI function and it just starts up the selection dialog. You do the thing, right? It blocks your application for the time being. Then it returns Right, and it gives you the file path that the user selected, so you can just put it somewhere. Unfortunately, Linux doesn't have a standardized way to create such dialogue, and it creates a problem of creating like cross-platform GUI applications. And solutions are kind of funny, right? So you have to install separate command line utilities specifically for that. Right, so let's actually take a look at what we have in here. So missing software, we'll try basic console input. Tiny file belongs, right, tiny file dialog on Unix select, or Zenity, Python 2 plus Tkinter, blah blah blah, a dialog, and some on and so forth. So essentially, you may try to install Zenity. I hope I pronounced this thing correctly, right? So let's actually take a look at it. I personally never used it. Zenity program. So can you do that in English, please? Enables you to create various types of simple dialogues. Okay, so you can use Zenity to create simple dialogues that interact graphically with the user, and it's literally a command line utility. I don't think I even have it installed. Zenity, Zenity, yeah. Okay, let's actually try to install it. I think it's gonna be interesting. Like, I'm really curious myself. So I'm kind of curious how exactly you use it. Maybe I'm gonna actually start using it in my applications. I vaguely remember somebody was trying to submit Zenity pull request, I think, to Mutualizer, and I rejected it on the basis that it's kind of stupid to depend on these like third-party things. But then I realized that Linux just literally don't have a solution for that, except this kind of stuff. And it's just like, this is something that you have to do. But at the same time, you don't really have to hard depend on this kind of stuff. You can just try it, and if it doesn't exist on the user's machine, you can just softly tell them, bruh, I don't know how to do that. Right, so I'm kind of curious myself, like how you use this thing, so maybe I'm going to use it in my project. We'll see, we'll see. So XBPS query rs Zenity. So does it exist? Okay. Oh, there's also an alternative tool to create dialogue boxes based on Qt. Okay, so basically it's like a Zenity, but in Qt. All right, but Qt. So let's install this thing. I'm really... Modern software, like, bruh, I just... I just want to show a user how hard is it to select a fucking file in 2024. Do you really need an entire freaking browser app stream? Well, I don't even know. It's like a app image thingy. I don't really know. Anyways, let's fucking go. I wonder how much time. I hope it's not going to be too slow because I'm over the VPN, so it might be actually kind of slow to do that. Okay, that was faster than expected. I'm really fucking happy. Anyways, so let's take a look at Zenity. All right, you must specify dialog type. Okay, so do I have TeamUcas? No, I don't have TeamUcas. Zenity help. All right, look at that. So there's a shit ton of helps. Application calendar. Zenity calendar. That is fucking neat. Look at that. You just call this and it just returns you through the standard output. So you can integrate, you can just do that through shell, through bash and stuff. That is, okay, so there's also file selection. Okay, let's give it a try. File selection. Okay, it blew up into my face. Right, so I can just select different things. It uses like a white theme, I really apologize for that. But let's actually select the SQLite snapshot. And it just returns you the full path to SQLite snapshot. That's pretty cool. I think I should try it in my project, even though I rejected it at first because like, it is kind of a hacky solution, honestly. It is kind of a hacky solution, and at first when you see it, it's just like, bruh, that's stupid. GTK WebKit, but yeah, so it also depends on GTK WebKit. But then, like when the entire infrastructure is built around the slope, it's not like you have choice to not use slope. It's like with JavaScript, right? Motherfuckers just build the entire infrastructure around that shady language. And it's not like you can avoid it, right? It's built into the infrastructure. That's why you can't avoid it. Not because it's a good language, not because it's a good, but it's because motherfuckers like use it fucking everything, even where it does not belong. So now we're kind of stuck with that. So the same thing with this, right? So it's just like, it's not like I have choice much. So, but as far as I know, they are using some sort of like, they actually choose different alternatives, right? So there's also dialogue. It's kind of a, I think Zenity is an iteration of this kind of thing, and like there is a dialogue program. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's usually used by distro installers, Linux distro installers. You know, the old like Debian installer, right? So it uses different like terminal widgets and stuff like that. As far as I know, it does that through dialogue, right? You can configure it to do different layouts of different widgets and stuff like that, right? So there's, people say there's also X dialogue. Like I never heard about it, but I'm not surprised that this kind of thing exists. So let's actually see how Raylib Project Creator actually deals with Zenity. Does it even call? Ooh, this one is interesting. It doesn't call Zenity directly. It could be actually using Zenity through some other dependency. Maybe there is a library that actually abstracts the. Fucking called it. Fucking called it. Like, dude, I like how hackable the entire source code is. Right? It's kind of predictable. Right, so it's kind of predictable, so you can predict that there is some sort of an abstraction layer of the file dialogues and stuff like that. So yeah, let's actually take a look at it. It is available anywhere. So here it is. So who wrote that? So Ray San himself actually wrote that. So, oh, that's actually kind of cool. Yo, maybe I can use that as well? Can I? So how do they use Zenity? No, they don't use Zenity directly though. Huh. Where is the Zenity coming from then? Because I would expect it to literally just call it directly. So let me literally do RG and just Zenity. Aha. Alright, so let's do vim grep. Aha, so tiny file dialogues. So the actual dependency is tiny file dialogues. So the tiny file dialogues, so white space. Oh, I see. So it's small library. I see how it is. I literally see how it is. This is actually kind of cool. Tiny file dialogues. It's a, I never heard about this library. So this is the library that abstracts away the file dialogues and shit. Bro, that's so fucking cool. Have you guys heard about tiny file dialogue? I never heard about it. Right, so here it is. I do not accept. I do not comply. One C++ file header provides 8 functions. Beep! Just like Vim. Aha! So tray notification pop-ups, message questions, input password, save file, open file, select folder, color picker. That's so freaking cool. And you don't have to think like, so it's simple. The backends is Windows, OS X, GTK, Qt, console. I'm writing that shit down, bro. So they also have, I think they migrated to, they're still on SourceForge, but this is so fucking cool. I need to maybe put myself a reminder to look into the tiny file dialogues in some of the, like on some of the streams. This is so cool. So this is so freaking cool. No init, no main loop, no linking, no include. Windows XP, it supports Windows fucking XP. Release of what? Raylib. So we're currently looking at the release. So you can always do a to-do command, and it will just tell you what exactly we're doing right now. Right. So I usually put like the exact thing there. And title is for the clickbait, right? I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Blame the system, right? So don't blame me for like using all of these tricks and stuff like that. Everyone does that because that's how the system works. To be honest, I don't think a file dialog API has changed from XP to 11 at all. Yeah, true. That's true, actually. So anyway, that's actually kind of cool. So SSH console X forwarding, the dialog can be forced into console mode. Curses dialog, oh my god, it supports everything. It supports everything, so we can just abstract everything away. That's pretty cool. Showing file selection dialog is an unsolved computer science problem that requires an entire fucking framework. Right. Anyways. So we installed Zenity, so that means this entire thing is going to work for us, hopefully. So let's see. Right. So it's really funny, right? So you have a file dialog, so you need an abstraction layer that chooses between either an API call on one operating system or calling an entire separate process on another operating system. And on that another operating system, there's actually several options to do that. It's either through a separate process of GUI application or a terminal application. This is like a web level of sanity. Like usually web platform has like this kind of level of insanity. So imagine poor Ray-san having to figure that out. I mean, so as far as I know, TinyFile Dialogs is not developed by Ray-san. He just uses that. So, but it's kind of cool that he knows about it. So I really recommend, like I already talked about it, but I really recommend to always read Ray-san's code, because he's a very experienced developer with a lot of, you know, experience. And you can just like learn a lot of things from his code, like we just did. Like I never heard about TinyFile Dialogs. Now I know about it. Right, it even supports Fortran and Pascal and Loop. The last update actually recently, look at that. Relatively recently. So anyways, so let's actually try to run this entire thing. So we've been masturbating for too long, chat. Chat, stop masturbating. Chat, stop masturbating, start working. Okay, let's go. Let's just do that. And source files, where are we going to be generating this entire? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So let me, oh, and it yeah, it blocks the it blocks the main loop of the application, so you can very retro feel. Yeah, exactly, very retro feel. So let's go into the home, programming, and maybe probe. And so can I just create a folder in here? Something, I suppose the GTK3 or maybe NOM GUI thingy relies on some capabilities of the window manager to do like a maybe gradients and stuff like that. And since I'm using i3, like some sort of a transparency, i3 probably doesn't support that, so we can end up with this shit. Linux, my favorite operating system. How do I freaking create a new file? I think it's a folder. I suppose I just create it here, or do I? So, other location. Because usually you can create a new folder in here, but I can't do that. It's probably not something that this thing supports. Let's actually, okay, so I'm gonna just do okay. So you have to select source code files. Okay, so what if I go here and the only source code file I have in here is, I'm sure it's main, but where is the main? Where is the main that I created? Does anybody remember? There was a main. Wait a second. Bro, just a sec. Where is the main? Did I remove it? So this one. So yeah, it's in ArrayLib in there. Oh, here it is. I'm just blind. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit blind. Okay. And it just, okay, so it just created, but it's not full path though. It's not really full path. And what is it going to do? Right, so here's the source files. I can select them. Let's generate the project structure. Great! What the fuck did it do? I suspect that it just shitted all of that into here. Did it not? Did it create make files and stuff? Great! Yep. I don't know what happened. Earlier you selected first option, now you back to custom files. I don't really know. So I have a suspicion that maybe it shaded something in here, but like I really don't see that. So maybe maybe we have to put some stuff in here. So let's actually put hello, and I'm going to put everything into hello just in case. Right. So this is my separate project, just to make sure that right. So if it creates any files, it doesn't mix with the Raylib stuff, right? So just like a separate thing. Okay, let's give it a start. Oh, I forgot to press basic. I see what's going on. Right, I see what's going on. Okay. And here's the output. So in the custom files, yeah, I forgot to put an out. Okay. So because it was so big, I couldn't see what the fuck is going on. All right, so let's actually browse this entire thing. Right, so I'm really sorry for being a little bit stupid, that's fine, because I am. Right, so here is the Raylib, hello, here is the folder. Okay, so that was pretty convenient. Let's generate project structure. Great! Okay, and I'm gonna close this entire thing. And let's actually go somewhere here. So Raylib, hello. Okay, I don't have to worry about it spilling files all over the place because it creates a separate folder and contains all of the shit in that folder. Thank you, Ray-san. Because honestly, I have this subconscious fear every time I use these project generators that I will just put a wrong folder somewhere and it will just shit random files all over the place and I'll have to clean them up manually because I don't really know. Does it create a separate folder? Does it not create a separate folder? All of these project generators work slightly differently and I was burned several times because of that, and it's just like an extremely fucking actions. Yeah, so tar ZXVF trauma. Right, so this is because of this tar thing. There is a convention on Linux that you put all of the files into root single folders that so when you unpack it, right, it doesn't like spill files all over the place. I think these kind of archives that actually spill files all over the place are called zip bombs or something. I kind of vaguely remember that they have name, right? So, and people on Linux are trying to avoid zip bombs. Right, so thank you, Ray-san, for not, you know, shedding with the files all over the place on my system. I really appreciate it, genuinely. Anyways, so what we have in here is, okay, so it generated GitHub workflows for my Raylib projects. Honestly, that's kind of based. I didn't expect that, honestly. Okay, so does it automatically, okay, so it apt installs, does it automatically download the, holy shit, this is based. So if I put that on my GitHub, it will automatically have a CI where it builds. Not fucking bad, I guess. Not fucking bad. Right, so and it does that for all of the platforms, WebAssembly, Windows, and stuff like that. Okay, that's cool. So it also adds conventions. Right, so it enforces Raylib conventions on you. Well, I mean, it really doesn't, right? So it's just, this is the default. You can always delete that and just pretend that it never existed. Right, so because you have your own conventions in here. So there's a bunch of git ignores, like it ignores in advance all of the garbage your tools may generate. That's cool. The license, well, I mean, it's probably generated from the company name, right? So because we're specifying the company name and everything, so you can customize that. But it would be kind of funny. You used this project generator, this code automatically belongs to Ray-san. Because you use the project, you agreed to that. You didn't read the terms of condition. I'm joking, obviously, right? So you can customize it, right? So you could specify also a chat move, right? Okay, so what about readme? Project fee. Okay. Show your game to the world, animated GIFs recommended. Not bad, not bad. That's actually really cool, sort of like a checklist for things to do for your projects. I kind of like it, kind of like it. So there's also projects. Ooh. Dude, all of this shit must be a pain in the ass to test. Like, think about it. Like, he had to make sure that all of the workflows work. And these kind of systems, GitHub Action, have a tendency to get outdated and become broken in a couple of years and stuff like that. So you need to test each individual this thing, right? Then you have different build tools, like you need to make sure that these things work and build everything correctly. That's a lot of work. Does he have some sort of like an automation infrastructure that does that automatically for him? Maybe he's using GitHub Action as well. But just like, it's cool and everything, but it must be a pain in the ass to test all of that and make sure that they work on all of these use cases. That's a lot of things. Right. Damn. That's impressive, honestly. Right, so just like maintain them up to date. It's pretty cool. So info plist, what is plist? It's some Apple shit. I don't even care what it is, honestly, because it's Apple. So there's a makefile, right? So it's kind of similar to the, yeah, it's literally the makefile that Raysan uses. It also has raylib src path. It's kind of interesting that raylib has this sort of convention that is kind of consistent throughout different raylib projects, right? So there's always this raylib src path. Damn, consistency is the best documentation, right? So if you are consistent throughout all of the projects, right? So people kind of know what to expect. So you kind of need to document less, right? So there's also automatically icon NRC for your Windows build, so you can have an icon. That's Pogue. Honestly, like, I didn't really expect much from this project generator. What I personally expected is just that Raysan is going to be forcing his opinion on us, because that's what usually this project generator does, right? I'm forcing my opinion on you. And it is partially true. This is an opinion of Raysan, but at the same time, a lot of these things are actually the things that you want to do, right? You want to have like a comprehensive CI. You want to be able to build on Windows and have icon. This is something that you're going to do anyway. It's just like you're going to have a slightly different take on that, right? It is still opinion of Raysan, but it's actually useful things on top of that, right? It's just like his personal take on things that you're gonna do anyway. That's cool. Honestly, I just expected this to be like a huge meme, but it's actually kind of based. What I see is actually kind of based. Make it CLI tool without GUI, add knob H as a build. Honestly, this thing kind of inspires me to do similar things. So I'm bleeding actually. So that's how cool it is. I started bleeding my lips. So yeah. Yeah, so it kind of inspires me to try to do my own things like that. Raysan doesn't do memes. Yeah, he doesn't fucking joke. He really doesn't fucking joke. Anyways, so let's take a look at the changelog. So we take a look at the project generator. We take a look at the C++ operators. I think the only thing I would like to maybe look at today is different backends and stuff, right? I think it's going to be kind of interesting. So I never tried RGFW or SDL3, so I would be kind of curious to try them out. But I think the time has come to make a small break. I would like to make a small break and refill my cup of tea. And after the break, we're gonna take a look at all of these additional, libraries and stuff like that. Okay, sounds good? Sounds good, Chief? All right, we are back. So let's actually take a look at RGFW, right? So again, I've never heard about this thing. Maybe what I want to do, I want to take a look at it separately by itself, right? So what is RGFW thingy? RGFW. So, and I'm going to go to GitHub. Do I have it on description? I think I don't have it in the description. So we're going to add it to the description as well for anyone who's interested, who's watching on YouTube. So how do you even use that? Can I just, so it's a single header, right? Well, let's wait, single header. So that means I should be able to just grab this entire thing and just use it, right? So it's like STB. It's like STB. So let's just go ahead and do that. So programming prob RGFW, right, like this, and I'm just downloading it. Okay, so it's not that big. It's only 10,000. It's not bad. It's not bad. Look at the size. Look at the size of this thing. Yep. It also supports some scripting. Look at that. So, that is a very cool thing. Okay, let's fucking go. Main.c, and I'm going to just include rl rlgfg. Freaking. There's something weird about the naming of these graphical libraries. Like, why are they all so fucking weird? So, do you know what graphical library Minecraft uses? Why all of these goddamn graphical libraries named like they smashed the keyboard? It's just like, what's up with the graphics programmers? It's just like, bro, I'm gonna create a new graphical library. Lib, this is my new graphical library. Anyways, so, and for anyone who's interested, so here is the thing. So, you know what's funny about LWJGL is that it's not a really library on its own. It's just a bunch of bindings for C libraries, right? So to use in Java, it's not a thing on its own. It's just a bunch of bindings. It's actually kind of bizarre if you look at it, right? So can I download this? Where I can download this? It's just a source code. Yeah, look at that. Like STB image resize. It's just like they just rub a bunch of libraries. It's actually pretty big. Maybe it just takes too much time to download. 24 megabytes. Just 24 megabytes. Okay, so I hope it's not gonna... Yeah, it's not gonna blow up too much. So we're just unpacking some shit. So Vulkan. Okay. So, yeah, different modules, right? So we have different modules. You have that. Harvbus, GLFW, LLVM, LZ4, OpenAI, like it's not its own thing. There's no such thing as LWJGL. It's just a bunch of bindings. Like all the useful code, holy shit, all the useful code is not even written in Java. It's written in C, in C++. Right. Gmalloc, it has two mallocs, by the way. Free type. Fmod is a What? You need a separate fucking module for fmod? Is it what I think it is? Wait a freaking second. Fmod channel control. It's something for the sound. It's a audio. Oh, okay. Whew. I thought it's is even level of bullshit. You know, like on NPM. Fuck, I literally thought it's like is even level of bullshit. This one. Honestly, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised if it is like that. Dude, like, all of this stuff is the reason why nobody takes software developers seriously. And this is literally the reason why we have a layoff waves. Like, I'm just looking into things and it's a meme upon meme upon meme, like, Kek the user, exactly, right? So this is literally why nobody takes us seriously. Anyways. So, and as far as I know, a lot of packages, like, literally depend on this thing, right? Aren't they? So... Is 10,000... Oh, for fuck's sake, bruh. Bruh, shut up. Oh my god. I can't even open it because I'm stupid. Engineer, man, what the fuck? Repository is 10,000. Smoke test. Okay, so index.js. Oh. Do something, I see. Anyway, so let's actually continue. What I was doing? I forgot what I was doing. So let's go into the prop, RG of this one. All right, so here's the main.c, and let's first start with simply building this entire thing, right? So I'm gonna do cc main.c, boom, and it fails with a bunch of warnings. So inline function declared but never defined. Cool. That is very useful. Thank you so much for telling me all of that. So I wonder... I didn't even enable all the warnings and it's already shitting with warnings. That is fascinating, isn't it? Anyways, so how do I even use that? How do I call it? Maybe it is self-explanatory. Actually, let's actually test how self-explanatory this header is. Right, so there's a license in here. Yeah, so obviously you probably want to have implementation. We're going to edit at some point, but maybe later. Right, so I'm going to comment it out because I want it to fail with linking errors. Right. So print errors, make it so RGFW prints errors when they found. Okay. So just draw directly to window pixel buffer that is drawn to the screen. The buffer is in RGB format. Ooh. That is so fucking cool. So different options and stuff like that. So you can redefine that. What a based fucking library, what the fuck? Fuck GLFW. Well, I mean, if this thing works, we don't even know if it works. Yeah, it's a STB style. Imagine STB style GLFW. They even, you know, talk about GLFW. Certain parts of WinAPI and Excel are very poorly documented. GLFW source code was referenced and used throughout the project. Used code is marked in some way. This mainly includes code for drag and drops, code for setting icons to bitmap, and code managing, blah, blah, blah. So they use a little bit of GLFW, so they credit it. So that makes sense, I suppose. That makes sense. Okay, there is no really example on how you initialize and create it. I suppose you have to look into that for that in the README. Right. So am I looking at the right thing? I don't think I'm looking at the right thing. So is there a GitHub? Okay. So I think I lost. Oh, here it is. I was looking for my link to the GitHub. Official platforms examples. All right, so it's okay. So this is how we do that. So we do create window. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So create window, name, rectangle, and different arguments. I suppose these are different flags, and you have to specify a rectangle. This is kind of cool. So through a rectangle, you can specify also the position where the window is going to be located. One weird part is that they define their own I32, I64 types defs without a prefix. Define I32, wait. I32. Huh. It's actually a common thing, honestly. Like, I've seen a lot of C and C++ developers do that from time to time because they are annoyed to type this thing. And I like very short and sweet names for integers. It's not very uncommon. It is pretty common. Okay, so create window. Let's copy paste this entire thing. And it should give us a window. So I suppose this is the window. I should probably save it somewhere. So this is going to be the window. So name of the window. Hello. The rectangle. I'm going to say, let's put it in the left top corner. And let's give it a size of 800 by 600. That was weird. Okay. So, and in here, extra arguments, I suppose, is going to be 0. And that should be enough. Can I just build this entire thing? So it fails. It fails with return because I forgot semicolon. That's fine. It fails with linkage error. So if I enable GLFW, what is going to fail with? It fails with GLX and shit. And X and everything. That is kind of cool. So do we do LX? XLib? I don't remember how do you link with, you know, libx and whatnot. Does anybody remember? X11, right, thank you so much, X11. Cool. So now it wants GLX. I don't remember, is it just, you know, GLX? So let's go and maybe I will have to install something actually. I don't quite remember. X query GLX or S, I mean. Okay. So is it like a big GLX? It's a libgl. You think it has to be libgl? Maybe it has to be libgl. So I do have. All right. So it probably comes from Mesa, right? And I do have Mesa installed. So let's give it a try. So JL. Ooh. Okay, so I see a little bit of a math. So we can do that. And there's also XRR blah blah blah. Right. So what's about this function? How do I? So X get screen info. X render. Okay. So maybe I have to. Is it X render? Or is it just render? So how do you call the render thingy? Query render. Okay, so it's capitalized. So I suppose for me to use, I have to capitalize X. Figured it out. Look at that. Look at it. I actually figured it out. That's pretty funny. Using a little bit of a package manager magic and stuff like that, we managed to figure it out. So let's take a look at the final executable. Right, so it depends only on the things that we told it to depend, right? So a little bit transitive dependencies and stuff like that. Right, so, and let's go ahead and maybe try to run it. And I saw a blink. Did you see a blink, chat? I saw a little bit of a blink, I think. Yeah, so it was actually too fast. Right, so the blink in Raylib is a little bit slower, probably because it just initializes too many things. The bitrate did something. Okay, understandable. All right, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So what's going to be the next thing? So we're not going to be setting icons or anything. We can actually jump straight into the loop from what I can see. So not quit, while not quit. We just check certain events. So there's a special function, window check event. All right, let's take a look at it. So window check event, and it just pulls the event out of the queue, I suppose. That's basically the idea. But it gives you a pointer. I wonder where it stores this thing. Does it allocate it on a heap, or maybe it just... let me see. So I'm gonna just search for this thing. Okay, so it's not defined like this. Is it defined like... What am I looking at? So here's the implementations that are indented. Why the fuck are they indented? Are they indented intentionally? That is bizarre. Why the fuck are they doing it? I mean, I don't mind. It's just weird. So it's just like, let's put it this way, unusual, right? So they're indented according to the macros they're wrapped in or something. Okay. So, and there's actually two of these things. I suppose maybe one for Linux, another one for Windows. So what I see in here, okay, so this is X11 and stuff like that. And we return either null, we return event. So we do Linux update joystick. So it comes from somewhere here, right? So, and when it returns something, it returns a pointer. Aha, okay. So this is basically what's going on. It doesn't really allocate anything. It's allocated within the windows, and what it does, it just returns a pointer to a field within the window that we pass anyway. So if there's any allocations, they happen at the moment of creating the window. Okay. So I just saw that function returns a pointer, and that's like a red flag for me. So like, where does it get memory from? Right. So does it allocate it? Yeah, it allocates it in here. So, but it's like, you don't have to deallocate anything. So that's basically what's going on. Love that one that isn't documented. Well, I mean, this is a single header library and it's very small. So you can say that it's kind of self-documented because nothing stops you from just looking at the implementation and seeing. And that's literally what we did. So maybe that's fine in this specific case, at least. So here's the event, and let's do the window. And sometimes it may return actually, yeah. Ooh, this is actually kind of cool. Look at that. They just check that it returns not null, and then they directly access event, which indicates that whatever this function returns is always either null or the pointer to this thing anyway. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So that's a really cool way to just, you know, check if there's any events in a queue, right? So, and then you can check whether it's a quit or it's a escape pressed. Okay, so in our case, we probably want to actually do escape, right? If, I mean, quit, and if it's a quit, we're gonna do quit true, right? And I suppose that's it. So one of the things we can do, yeah, we can just clean the caller buffer, right? So we just clean the caller buffer and we swap the buffers, right? So we can see this entire thing. So the reason white caller, let's actually use red caller. And after that, they just close the window. This is pretty straightforward, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and try to build this entire thing. So it doesn't know anything about Boolean. Okay, let's actually include stdbool.h. So this is the window, window like this, and this is the window. And I probably have to do that in here. Copy pasting code, by the way. All right. So that's pretty cool. I already started. I'm gonna start again. It deserves a start, right? So that's nice. So it doesn't even depend on that much. So and it is cross-platform, right? So it also works on Windows, right? As they say, Windows.a. Yeah, there we go. So here it is. So I want to actually maybe create a separate like makefile or some stuff like that, so I don't have to type this shit over and over again. Main.c, right, so I can just do make b and it works. I wonder if I can do something cool with this kind of stuff. Right, so this is sus. It's supposed to be actually kind of dark. GL clear color. Red. Wait a freaking second. Does the wait, I didn't even fucking notice. Do you notice anything weird about this code of gel clear color? I didn't. It's so subtle, I myself didn't even fucking notice that. Well, so for those who doesn't know, the values of GL clear caller is from 0 to 1 and it's a float. So what you're supposed to do in here is actually 1. Well, I mean, I can't make too much fun about it because I myself also didn't notice that. So it's just like they were copy-pasting things around, that's fine. But that's just funny. This is actually funny. I like that. So what I want you to do. So in my case, I want to specifically color this, right? So, and to achieve that exact color, I suppose one thing I can do is just like divide it by maybe 255, right? So that's way, that way I kind of can have that, right, and in here. So that's going to be cool. So this is the color of the background of my editor, right? So, and if I try to run this entire thing, yeah, it's exactly that, right? So it's exactly that color. Cool. Do I have things like GL begin? All right, so and is it going to work? I wonder. So I think you just do GL end, but I don't remember. So GL end. Oh, GL end doesn't accept anything. Okay, it compiles at least. So GL color, I think 3F, right? So we're gonna have a bunch of colors here. So it's gonna be that, then that, then that. Is it working? Okay, GL vertex 2F. So minus half. Yeah, minus half as well, so it's a left leg. Then it's gonna be that leg. Maybe we're gonna do in the middle, so that means in terms of X it's gonna be that, and in terms of Y it's gonna be that, and this one is gonna be just to the right. And OpenGL 1.0 will never fucking die. 1.0 OpenGL will never fucking die. It's the best OpenGL API. Hate me. Hate me. Fuck all of your retained API bullshit. This API is fucking best one. Yeah. And it will never die. People like me will never let it die. And people like Raysan, by the way. Do you guys know what Raysan did? He created a very cool thing called RLGL, right? And RLGL is basically a layer on top of OpenGL that makes it look like OpenGL 1.0, right? So even if you don't have an opportunity to use OpenGL 1.0, you can have an interface that looks like OpenGL 1.0, but internally it just like, you know, implements immediate mode, right? So we can even take a look at that. So it's actually super cool. So prob array lib. So RL GL, and what's funny is that the raylib itself is not really implemented on top of OpenGL. It's implemented on top of RLGL, right? So Raysan is trying to use the best OpenGL API instead of that weird shit that people have come up with over the years. So yeah, so it's a multi-OpenGL abstraction layer with the immediate mode style API. So yeah, even if you deprecate the best API in the world, it will still live on in the form of RLGL. You can't kill it. Even if you officially deprecate it, even if you fucking remove it from all of the OpenGL implementations, it will live on in a form of RLGL, and there will be nothing you'll be able to do that to stop it. Because immediate mode API for OpenGL is the best. It is the best, it's the most intuitive, this is exactly what you want to do. And if you use any graphics API, you end up re-implementing it fucking anyway. So, just saying. Just saying the same. So, and it has things like RL begin, for instance, right? So, yeah, it's basically like OpenGL, but with RL prefix instead of GL. Right, so it's kind of, it's literally OpenGL, but with a different prefix. That's so funny, I love it. I freaking love it. We can even take a look at the RLGL begin implementation. So here it is. Yeah, so it just calls to OpenGL 1.0 or 1.1, but it's only when OpenGL is 1, right? So, but there's other implementations. So, for example, if you use different ones, it has a batch buffer. So it basically queues all of this like information and like into the buffer and then sends it to OpenGL. So basically, what he does for higher versions of OpenGL, he literally implements the immediate mode like this, right? So here's the implementation. It has a very long lines, bro. $80 characters column, please, fucking please. How about 406 characters column? How about that? So just buy a wider screen. Just buy a wider screen. Anyway, so basically, RLG, how do you even call it? I can't remember. RGFW. So now ArrayLib can work on top of this thing. So before it was working on top of GLFW, it still works on top of GLFW, but now you can use this thing, right? So, and I wonder how you can force using this thing. It's probably through the macros, not really macros, but environment variables. So there is a thing called platforms, right? And as you can see, we have different desktop platform implementations, right? GLFW, RGFW, and SDL for SDL3, I suppose. But maybe this one is used for both SDL2 and, yeah, okay, dependencies SDL2 or SDL3. So the architecture of ArrayLib is rather simple and straightforward, right? So it just tries to abstract away different sort of graphical libraries for initializing OpenGL, right? So basically the job that those libraries are supposed to do in the first place. CMake options. As far as now, CMake is not really actively maintained by Ray-san himself. I don't really know. So he primarily uses makefiles. So makefile build is what Ray-san himself updates, as far as I know. There's no problem in computer science that can be solved with one more layer of abstraction, except one. Too many layers of abstractions. So there's one problem that you can't solve with adding another layer of abstraction. And it is actual problem that is these days becoming an actual problem that affects the quality of software. And the quality of software, by the way, affects the quality of your life because we're using software everywhere, right? In the past, the quality of software didn't really affect our life that much, right? But since software is everywhere and it literally controls our lives, the quality of software actually kind of matters. Just keep adding them until it overflows to 0. Yeah, by the way, this is actually a good point. You can actually build ArrayLib with just this. You can just like take all of the C files in a source folder, just do GCC, and you have a ArrayLib. So, but depending on the platform, you will have to supply additional macros, right? So you have to say platform desktop that, platform desktop this, maybe additional flags and stuff like that. So as far as the makefile just automates that specifically, right? So, and through the makefile, we have to maybe specify this stuff. The file supports building for the following platforms. ArrayLib desktop defaults to ArrayLib desktop GLFW. Okay, so I suppose I can take a look at the external GL. Yeah, so here is the dependencies. Here's the RGFW, right, single header one. And I wonder if I just enable this thing. So it just checks that it's defined. Right, that's what it does. It simply checks that it's defined. I'm gonna make a wild assumption. The only thing you have to do is just something like this. All right. It still uses GLFW, so that's probably not how we do that. Okay, so let me take this. Target platform. Do you have to set target platform to that? No. All right. So one of the things we can do maybe is put it in here. No. -D. No, this is not how we do that. So let's actually see. Target platform. Well, yeah. So it looks for target platform, and if target platform, you should set target platform to one of these things. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't really see any stuff. Make. Okay, I see. That's probably what it is. Make target platform. So you set it on the level of make instead of the level of bash. That's what's going on in here. And that worked. Okay, thank you. So that actually works. So, and it should be able to build it. So from the outside, it shouldn't change that much, right? So it's just like depending on what platform you provide in here, you just do different things. And I don't have SDL, by the way. Speaking of, do I really not have SDL? Seriously? God damn, bro. BPS. RS libsdl. What the fuck? Okay, so I have SDL2. Maybe it wants SDL3 because I do have SDL2 devil. Right. Don't know what's up with that. Maybe it wants some more elaborate scheiße. So it's trying to use SDL2. I think I remember vaguely having this kind of problem, right? It wants... What does it want? I'm really curious. So make file. SDL. So SDL backends. So it's a platform SDL. Okay. So just SDL. libsdl2. I remember that. Yeah. I just fucking remember that. So it wants you to have external SDL2. Yeah, is not included in Ruby. It must be configured. Yeah. We had literally the same problem in the previous review stream, right? So release review stream. So you have to download like a distribution of SDL2 and you have to put it yourself in there. In terms of SDL3, right, so is there, I didn't see SDL3 honestly, so it's not even mentioned in there. There's no mention of SDL3, but maybe you have to, maybe it's an experimental platform of some sort. Why doesn't it want, it doesn't really want anything, right? So it doesn't really want anything, it gives you options, right? So, essentially, like if you don't like LGLFW or this thing, but you have SDL, you can instruct it to build, to use SDL for initializing Windows and OpenGL, right? So it can work on top of any of this library. So that's basically what it is. It doesn't really want SDL by itself. It just gives you an option to use SDL if you want to. Because the only thing it does is just initializes the window, initializes OpenGL context, and then it just works with OpenGL from now on. It doesn't really need any of these libraries, except maybe for the situations when it tries to handle the input, right? So because you handle input in them differently. They all have different APIs for that. There is you can work with DRN directly? It's for Raspberry Pi. Holy shit, this is base. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Dude, can your web do that? Can your web do that? This shit is more cross-platform than browser. Can you run your browser on the Dreamcast? I don't fucking think so. I don't fucking think so. If I write a Reddit application, it's more cross-platform than JavaScript. Then fucking JavaScript. Dub. Anyway, so okay, I think we basically looked at all of the key sort of changes, except maybe the skinning and stuff like that, but it's just like a 3D thing, and I'm not a 3D graphics programmer. So what can I say? Based released 5 out of 5. And look at that. It is in exactly 5.5, rated 5.5. That's what it is. So, looks cool, looks based, continue using it. Very cool library. Support rated. And that's it for today. Thanks everyone who's watching me right now. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, and I see you all on the next recreational programming session with Mr. Azuzin. I love you. Mwah.